Hello everyone and welcome back to Greenpine Zoo and Gardens, episode 33. And today we are going to start a complete new chapter in our zoo, because by the end of today's video we are going to be ready to open up our Himalayan area, so the next big area in our zoo. Well, it might not be too big because I asked you guys in last week's episode what animals we could add to that area, and yeah, actually it's not too many of them, but we found a few. So I was already talking about the snow leopards, about the red pandas, the takin and the makor, and we actually could also add the Japanese macaque. That would be a great addition to that area, I think. And we could also end that area with a beautiful, nice temple, something like I was building for our community zoo project that was called Pandasia. So that was heavily inspired by the zoo in the Netherlands, let me think about the zoo in Renen. Actually, that's what it was. I was going to say in Amersfoort, but they don't have giant pandas there. So the zoo in Renen. And I was thinking about having something here in that area as well. But let's start with today's episode. Let's start with something in general that I wanted to ask you guys, or that I wanted to ask you for a favor. So last week's episode, unfortunately, all of the episodes on my channel didn't work so well on YouTube. And I noticed, it's not just because there's not that many guys been last week that watched the videos, but you guys once again forgot to hit the like button for my videos. So I'm asking you kindly to not forget about that. It is the most important thing that you can do besides supporting my channel with a membership. And therefore I wanted to thank everyone that already joined the Keepers crew. I am heavily appreciative of that, so thank you guys. And yeah, once again, besides that, the most important thing is to click the like button for that video. Maybe you wanted to do that right now for this one, and I would appreciate that. So, but let's get into today's video. What are we going to do today? I said it in the beginning of the video, we are going to finish the entrance area to the Himalaya. So in last week's episode we already started with it. We did, I think it was, let me have a look inside here. This looks like the vet building. Yeah, so we might have put the keeper hut, the big one, in nice clothes. So today we are going to do the rest, but we're not just going to have all the staff buildings that we need for that area. We are also going to have a little picnic area. So I decided we're not going with a restaurant because it would, yeah, we already do have some kind of a restaurant, even though it has just counters in there, so we don't have an actual restaurant building, but it works like a restaurant. It's the Urban Plate that is right outside of the entrance of the zoo, where our guests can grab some breakfast or some dinner after they left the zoo, or maybe also have a break and go outside the zoo for lunchtime and have a little lunch there and then go back into the zoo. So this one already works like a restaurant. I thought we don't have something like a small picnic area in here, so therefore we are going to have that right here in the Asian Highlands. I think of calling it the Asian Highlands because it is easier to pronounce than Himalaya. Okay, whatever. I also made a few little changes before that video. because I think I told you guys in last week's episode that I thought the doors when we left the aviary were a little bit tiny. So I checked on that, and yeah, they actually were. So it was absolutely possible for guests to walk through that. Yeah, to be completely honest, guests also would walk through walls if there is just a path leading through that. So it doesn't matter how big the doors are, but if you looked at it in a perspective, guests would have been able to go in there or leave the aviary through the doors, because it was like 1 meter and 80 centimeters or 90 centimeters. So if you were a little bit on the taller side, you might have problems exiting the aviary on that side and have to go back to the entrance. But yeah, everything is working completely fine right now, because I made it a little bit bigger so that even our tallest guests wouldn't have problems to walk through the doors. So we do have the vet building here. We also do have the feeding kitchen, mechanic, and also the trading center. That is the most important thing, because we don't want to have our staff people sorry, I had to take a sip of my Coke because something was tickling in my throat and I didn't want to cough the whole time. So I didn't want to have my staff walk through the whole zoo and transport the animals to their habitats. This would have taken them way too long. So we need to have a trading center here on top of the hill as well. So some decoration, some of the fences that we already used last week as well. And then I think the first building right here is done. Yeah, almost. It's in a little bit of a different style. We have the stone pieces, I think, from the... No, they're not from the tropical pack. I think they're from the European pack that I was using. We have some... No, was it the European? The European were more straight, I think. I don't know which DLC those are from. Maybe you guys know and can tell me in the comment section, but yeah, I'm not quite sure right now. I know that I was using those for... Was it the European one? Or which one was the DLC that we got? The sloth bear, the Saiga antelope, and what else was in there? The boar, the wild boar. I think it was that DLC, but I'm not quite sure. As I said, I'm a little bit confused right now. Oh, it was the Eurasia Animal Pack. No, Animal Pack. I'm quite sure that we didn't get those building pieces in an Animal Pack, but yeah, whatever. So just a few minor decoration details on that building, and then we are going on to the next. This took me quite some time, and I'm very, very happy that most of that I could actually do last week when I had one more day off, so I had more time to create something like this. I wanted to do something different here. As you can see, we have the big building on the left side, which is the feeding kitchen, I think. And on the right side we do have the mechanic and the trading center, with the exit in that middle area with the little tunnel in there. So I was thinking maybe we would use that little tunnel within the next episodes for some kind of a viewing area for our guests. I'm not quite sure for which animal, but yeah, I really like that idea. So maybe a viewing area for the takin and the makor. I'm thinking of having both of them in one habitat, so that we will have something like an elevated viewing area here, like a balcony or something, where you can watch the animals and look down into the habitat, and you're having another viewing gallery on the bottom of the hill. So yeah, I was thinking about something like that. Or maybe for a different animal. So maybe we're going to have a balcony as well there, but more like a covered one, so that you will be able to have a look into the habitat of the snow leopards. That would be pretty cool as well, but I think it might be a little bit too tight in here. And because if you have something like this for the snow leopards, I think it would be a little bit too packed in there with all the guests that want to see the carnivores, because yeah, you know how it is in real zoos. It's always the cats, the bears, the big animals that the guests are very crazy for them. So yeah, might not be the best idea. So maybe we're going to have something less spectacular on that side. So as I said, the takin or maybe the Japanese macaque. So I was thinking about the first animal that could move in here in that area, which is going to be exactly next week actually. Yeah, we are already at that point, and I was thinking about maybe the red panda. So we're starting off with a small animal that could perfectly fit right next to the picnic area. But I was thinking on the other side, right next to our yeah, food counters. I just don't get the word for that. But I was thinking about something like that. Maybe some two smaller habitats that are combined by, once again, something like a little rope bridge, as we did for the lion-tailed macaque. So yeah, maybe something like that. Or something completely different. If you have any ideas or any inspiration for a red panda habitat in a real life zoo that you want me to have a look at it because it is so pretty, so cool, and it could fit that area perfect, then let me know in the comment section as well, and I will be happy to have a look at it and trying to recreate something like it. So yeah, if you have a favorite red panda habitat somewhere in the world, then just let me know. Yeah, and as we are talking about the animals, I also want to know from you guys which animal should be next. So the red panda is definitely set. It's definitely going to be the next animal in here, but how should we continue? So someone was also mentioning, or some of you guys, I think it was more than just one, that we also could add the... Is it in English also called the Isabelle bear? Yeah, but I'm really not quite sure about that. Because when I'm completely honest, I am not too happy with the basic game, or the base game, bears especially. Because maybe you guys remember when I built the franchise zoo Siebentischwald, which was more like a natural zoo or animal park or wildlife park or something like that. And we made a habitat for the grizzly bears, which was so frustrating because yeah, those bears are not able to walk over some rocks, which was really frustrating because you want to create a a natural habitat for those bears, and placing some rocks in there, because actually grizzly bears do live in mountainous areas, and they are not able to even walk over a simple rock. So if you place a rock wrong, this could mess up the whole traversable area for the animal, and that's why I think especially those base game bears are very frustrating. I don't think there's the same problem with the sloth bear, and I don't think there's the same problem with the spectacled bear as well. But yeah, with all the other bears, I think even with the Malayan bears, there's problems with the traversable area for them. And I really do love these animals, but with that aspect, no. I don't think they have a space here in our zoo. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. But I don't want to build for frustrating animals or for animals with frustrating mechanics. So yeah. And therefore, I'm also looking very much forward to Planet Zoo 2 whenever this is going to happen, because yeah, I want so much more from this game. I really love Planet Zoo. I think it for its time when it came out, it was definitely a game changer, and in my opinion, it still is. I mean, what game could you play for more than 6 years now and still have fun with it and still not be bored with it? So this is a major accomplishment. But yeah, I'm also ready for some progress. Oh, talking about some progress, did you guys see the newest footage of Jurassic World Evolution 3? I mean, wow. They did so much in that game that I think everyone was hoping for Jurassic World Evolution 2. Yeah, I hope you guys are okay if you're talking about that for just a second. Yeah, Jurassic World 2, in my opinion, was a complete letdown, because we just got basically with Jurassic World Evolution a DLC for the price of a whole game, because there were just some minor changes in there, in my opinion, and I was not happy with that. And yeah, everyone was hoping when Jurassic World Evolution 2 came out that we would have some free build modes like we do have in Planet Zoo. That actually was the thing that I was looking most forward to the first part as well, because I was already playing Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, and then I thought, wow, Frontier comes out with Jurassic World Evolution and it looked so great, and I wanted to have the same mechanics or at least somewhat in that direction for that game, but that never happened. So to get back to what we get in Evolution 3, this is major. We get all of that we were wishing for. We have pretty nice mechanics when it comes to water. We can have very natural looking waterfalls, which is so cool. And yeah, why I'm telling you all of this, because I'm very hopeful with all the mechanics that we get in Planet Coaster 2 or in Jurassic World Evolution 3 now is going to morph over to a possible, or very, very possible, because let's be honest, this is the most successful game in Frontier history, I think. So it would be crazy if there weren't plans for Planet Zoo 2. So once again, I hope that some of the mechanics that they are putting out for Planet Coaster 2 and Jurassic World Evolution 3 will make its way to a potential Planet Zoo 2. Because I want to have great waterfalls in there. I want to have flying and swimming animals in there. I mean, they have been testing that for Jurassic World Evolution 2 already, with the swimming reptiles and the flying reptiles. So if they see that works, and maybe if they can redefine it a little bit more and make it a little bit more individual for those animals, especially for the flying ones, this could be something that we can actually looking for the word, hope for in Planet Zoo 2. And I think that's very realistic that we might get something like that. And I'm very hopeful for that, and yeah, I'm very excited for that. But okay, let's go back into the actual building that we are doing right here. Yeah, and talking about something that definitely needs somewhat of a fix, or yeah, stepping up the game with the path tool. That is something that we need. I don't want to have the path tool that we do have in Planet Coaster 2. I don't want to have that in Planet Zoo 2. But yeah, I definitely need some improvement in there, because it was pretty hard to get the path that way that I wanted to have it right here, that our guest can use the whole area. I was working with the grid option for the path. I was working with the non-grid option and trying to create something that would make sense. In the end, I think I managed to do so, but yeah, it wasn't that easy. So here's the picnic area right now. We are having 3 counters. I think it's 2 food and 1 drink option, or was it like ice cream, pizza and drinks? I'm not quite sure, I forgot about that. But yeah, our guests will have something to eat, will have something to drink, and most important, and I did not forget it, Fritzelinchen, I'm talking directly to you, we have toilets. So as I said in the beginning of the video, we are ready for this area to open up, and I'm very excited and also a little bit afraid if our guests are really going to go to that area and really walking through the whole AV area and coming up to that point right here. So I also think we might make a connection when we're walking down the hill a little bit towards the entrance of the zoo, so that we might build something like an exit gate or whatever, so that yeah, this could be like a small course that you can walk through the zoo. So if you are tired already, you can leave the zoo afterwards. So we're going to have a connection for the exit here as well, I think. So this might be the first one. We're going to have another one once we're doing another area. I think an area we could connect to the Asian Highlands when we are going down that hill, and once we finished everything, maybe right next to the giant pandas could be an Australian area, which could be pretty cool, because we do have lots of Australian animals in the game right now. So I'm very happy with that, and yeah, that could totally make sense. And then more in the center of the zoo, we are going to have our big African area, and yeah, on the other side where the playground is, where you are going to leave the zoo, there's going to be the pet zoo or petting zoo area. And we also might find a place somewhere in the zoo where we are going to build an American and South American area. I totally want to have that. We do have so many American animals and South American animals, and I want to have them here in the zoo and showcase them as well. Not all of them, of course, because that would be way too much, but yeah, at least some of them. Oh, and we also need to find a place where we can add the orangutans. Yeah, Sonia, I didn't forget about you. I know you wished for those animals. We'll definitely find a place for them. I'm not quite sure if we're going to have something like a monkey house or something like that where we are going to add them. But or maybe right behind the Himalayan area where we are going to have some space still open, where we also will have some, yeah, not somewhat of a connection to the Asian area. That's not correct, but yeah, it will be in that part of the Asian area. So that would also work perfectly to cover somewhat of that hill that we are going to create afterwards, once all of these buildings are finished, to make it look a little bit more natural. Yeah, that could be an idea where we could place the orangutans. Maybe also combine the habitat with, or combine them with the siamangs. That could also make sense. Oh, and I forgot about an animal that we could add here in the Himalayan area. At least when we are at the bottom of the hill, we might have a nice habitat for the Przewalski horses combined with the Bactrian camels. So that would also make sense in here, and I think that would be great if we are going to have something like this. So just some finishing touches for our little food court here. I didn't decorate those little shops one by one, so I did a little bit of decoration in there, made them a little bit smaller, put some floor in there, and also did some decoration on the walls, but we are not going to have some food stuff or whatever in there. I thought this would make sense if we had something like a gift shop or whatever where we could add some of the gifts to some shelves or whatever, but not for the food thing. So creating the rock area here. Which we are going to do more of that in the next few episodes, because yeah, we do have to add some rocks for some of the animals that are going to live in here. We are definitely going to have a very rocky area for our hoofed animals, as well as the snow leopards, and a little bit for the red pandas as well, because yeah, as I told you, they are going to live right next to our food court here on the left side, where actually there's nothing there yet, but we're going to take care about that in next week's episode. And we are not that high with the Asian Highlands here, so I'm thinking when we are walking down that hill, we are going to go down even lower, so that the entrance of our zoo is actually on a higher part than what we are going down right here from the Highlands. Because we do need some elevation in here. There's not that many zoos that are completely flat. Most of the city zoos actually are, so when I'm thinking about the zoo in Munich, it is completely flat. So there's no hills you have to walk or whatever. And I also think the zoo in Frankfurt is very flat as well. Leipzig might be, Dresden for sure. So city zoos, most of them are completely flat, but zoos that are a little more outside of the city actually are way more elevated at some parts. So adding a little bit more realism in here. And then we are done with the building, I think. Yeah, just some of the dirt pieces. And then we're going to continue with a little bit of planting, and then we are done for today, and we are ready for the red pandas. And I'm so ready for them. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave you guys with the next few minutes here, and also with the real-time part of the video. So yeah, once again, if you didn't do it in the beginning of the video, this is the perfect time for you guys to hit the like button, to subscribe my channel so you don't miss out on any future episodes, on whatever is going to happen on this channel. Also hit the hype button if you are able to, and you can also join the Keeper Crew, which is the membership for my channel. You'll find the link to that in the video description. So, with that being said, have a great start into the new week. Autumn is coming pretty fast, I think, so it's going to get colder and colder. So, take care of you guys, stay healthy, and see you guys latest next week when we are going to add the first animals in the Himalayan area. So, bye guys!